So thank you all for coming and watching this presentation. As Daryl mentioned, we're going to be discussing Excel import and export, specifically for products, customers, and vendors today. This is going to be especially applicable for adding new data in Advanced Pro if you're just setting up, or for modifying data that is currently in Advanced Pro, either because you're up and using the software, or because it's been brought in from a QuickBooks file. This is going to be particularly useful things like mass price adjustments, changing company naming conventions for your customers or vendors, and adding fields as you expand how you're using Advanced Pro to run your business. Now, for our first part of this lesson, we're going to be focusing on what's called a schema. And a schema is, in short, a set of formats or a specific way of laying out an Excel file so that it can be brought into Advanced Pro. Now, to get blank schema, so you can fill in your own data, you can always come to advancedprotech.com under support and visit our knowledge base, and you will see that there is a section for importing and exporting, so bringing in data, your products, your customers, and your vendors. You're going to see an area called Excel Schema, and you're going to be able to bring that in. Now, for the first part, we're going to talk about creating an export schema, and then we're going to bring that export schema back into the software. But you can use those blank schema to go ahead and bring new information into Advanced Pro. So to create an export here in Advanced Pro, navigate to the Admin panel, and click on the Utilities panel in the bottom right. Now navigate to the Excel Import Export tab. Today, we are going to focus specifically on product exports. If you're doing a customer or vendor export and you have the intention of updating that data, make sure that your customers and vendors all have account numbers. If they don't have account numbers and you change their names, you will create new customers, new vendors, so there is a chance that you might duplicate records. Also, you will see there are now options for updating multiple customer addresses and whether you're going to replace customer addresses or add new ones to the shipping records, etc. So you will see those as differences within customers and vendors. But today, we're going to focus just on products. We're going to come in and go to Export Products, and the first thing that we'll actually need to do is create a schema. So this is essentially listing off the columns and the types of fields that you would like to export into an Excel file so that you can adjust them or use it as a report, or simply to bring in the product information or update the product. So in this case, let's talk about the product name and SKU so that Advanced Pro is going to be able to link those back up later. We're going to talk about the cost price and the sale price, and we will talk about the stock level in stock. So now we've listed off a few items that we want to appear on our export, and we're going to give it a name. And what this does, it essentially makes a preset, or the schema, so that when we export it, Advanced Pro is going to know exactly what to put into this exported file. Now down at the bottom, we can also create custom formulas, and we might talk about this in a future episode, where we can actually create calculations against various fields in an export and save it as part of a schema or a preset. So we can actually use this for some simplified custom reporting as well. So I'm going to go ahead and save our schema, and now I'm going to go and produce an export. So we're going to go ahead and browse and put this on our desktop, and I'm going to give it a file name. And I'm going to go ahead and choose the schema that we've created. And I can go ahead and put in some filters as well to make it a less extensive list if I need to. We'll go ahead and click the export button now. So now this is going to go ahead and produce our Excel file for us. And it's gone ahead and opened up. So now we can see we've got the product name, we have the SKU, we have our cost price and our sale price, and we have our stock levels. Now we can go ahead and make an adjustment, say to the sale price or our stock levels, and then we can do an import back in. Now, once we're done making these edits, we can come back and import into the system. It is important that everything is formatted as text within Excel and that we remove any special formatting. Also, note that your header names, if you're creating your own Excel file, do not have spaces. They use underscores. Now, be sure before importing any data that you've backed up your database. So to do that, you're going to come into Utilities. You're going to go to the Database tab, and you're going to click Backup. Remember that you can only back up if you're logged onto your server. Now to import this file, we're going to go to Excel Import, Export. We're going to go to Import Products. I'm going to close this down so that there's no conflict with Excel. And we're going to browse for our file. Now Advanced Pro is going to parse that file, and it's going to pull all of the column names, all of our headers. Now, all you have to do at this point is to click the column header in your file and match it up with a field name in Advanced Pro. Today they happen to be the same, and click Map. And you just repeat that process for each field that you're going to be importing. Now, if Advanced Pro finds a matching SKU or a matching customer name or account number or a matching product name, it's going to update that existing product, customer, or vendor. If Advanced Pro doesn't find a match, it's going to create a new product, customer, or vendor. We'll go ahead and finish mapping all of these off. Now we can see we have the option to update stock to 0 if we're just kind of recreating these products. You'll also see options during the customer import where you're adding addresses versus overwriting them. So once we've mapped all our fields, we can click Next. And this next stage lets us look at what we've done and make sure that everything matches up. If we've made a mistake, we can check off 2 fields and unmap them and go redo our work. This allows us to map any field in Advanced Pro from any column in our Excel file. We'll go ahead and hit Import. It gives us a little warning letting us know that this can cause some issues with our data if we do it improperly. So make sure that everything is set up properly and make sure that your spreadsheet is set up properly. And then we'll go ahead and hit OK. And you'll see it goes ahead and imports all of our products and updates them. And now our products have been imported successfully. So some of the additional features that can be very, very handy within Excel is that you can actually use formulas to go in and make adjustments to things like your SKU names using concatenate, or to your prices using a simple multiplication formula. And you can very easily go ahead and paste those as values back into Advanced Pro, into Excel, and then once they've been pasted into Excel, you can import that into Advanced Pro. So that's going to cover our little tour of Excel importing and exporting, what that process can look like. This does conclude our lesson.